Welcome to Chris Parkin Shooting Sports. We've got packages today, so let's have a look and see what's in them. This is from Sportsman Gun Centre, and I have to be a bit careful what I show on camera because I think there's something in here which may not have been launched to the public yet, and it's a few days away from its actual allowable release date. And because I'm not in control of when production might happen, I shall have to be careful. So if you see me modestly disguise something out of the way, that'll be why. But believe me, you'll see what it is as soon as I can show it. Right, well, there we go. It is what I thought it was, which means that this video won't be a shared video with any other unboxings. This video will be unique to the unboxing of this product. I'm just trying to open this carefully to retain as much of the packaging as I can, because as I say, I do borrow these, they only go back. But basically, since it's taking longer, this is the latest Element Optics rifle scope. I saw this the other day and I was told about it the other day, and it's quite interesting. Let me just move that out of the way because that's got my details on it. And this is it. It is the Element Optics THEOS. So you see that there? It's a 6:36 magnification by 56 objective lens on it. Now this is a big step up from Element, because let me just figure out how to open this box. This is a serious big competitor. 6:36, still 6:36, so it's a 6 times magnification ratio, and that's gonna, you know, it's a big unit, and this is it. So what's in the box? Well, we've got a sunshade, we've got a neoprene scope cover. There's something in here which is probably something to do with turrets or cleaning cloth or something like that. Yeah, it's a smaller aperture actually. I'll have a look at that in a moment. There's also some tools and batteries and bits and bobs. We'll look at those in a moment as well. Just pop that back in there. I suspect this is one I'm going to get some serious use from. Right. I was half expecting there to be a night vision unit in that box as well, which I was going to unbox today and show today. That's why I was being a little bit modest over this, but there we go. So, first impressions are, we've got 6:36 magnification there, going clockwise from 6 up to 36. Fast focus eyepiece. It's obviously a very different, it's a grey colour, like a titanium almost. So that is a new look from Element. And we've also got, we've got all sorts of different things going on here. I'll have to have a good look at this, because there's some kind of switch or lever or something there. It might be a second rotation indicator perhaps. Yes, it is. It's a rotation indicator, so you can probably see that pop out as I go through into the second there. That's all going to be to look at and do a full review on eventually. But essentially, well, what's on the side here? We've got a capped windage dial there, which runs, what have we got in both directions there? We've got just over 5 milliradians left or right of centre there, back to centre. And then I noticed there are some little threads on here, and I saw this the other day on one of the new helixes, because Element now supply these rings. And if I can just get that out of the bag there. If you don't want to use the cap, you can put the ring over and it just spins onto those threads, and it essentially just gives you an exposed turret instead. So that's got one click. So that looks like some kind of zeroing device. We'll take that off there and just see if that allows us to lift the actual dial off. It does. So that's obviously for initial zero. There's lots of rubber seals here. Make sure nothing's going to leak. The clicks are definitely a step up to the next level of optics, because they're very tactile and audible. Still quite a soft sound to them, so they're not too noisy. There's a throw lever here for magnification control. That's good. You see that on a lot of element scopes. And I like the fact they've kept very much their styling ethos, their sort of characteristics in terms of the serrations on the dials, etc. Now, I'll need to go through the instructions in detail on this and to have a look at it, but I would suggest once we zero that, we can probably pop that off the top, and that will allow us then to set the marker to look like it's at 0. Excellent. Again, one for the full review there. Just pop that back in. That's not going back in there. Let me just do that. There we go. Let's fan its threads. Parallax adjustability on the left side, that goes down very low actually, so that's going down to 10 meters it's marked at. And this is a first focal plane scope. Clicks are 10th milliradian, which is great, 1 centimetre at 100 meters. For the metric fans out there, that is a very simple life. 56 millimeter front end, there was a sunshade in there too, and it's first focal plane. So let's have a look at the reticle. I am on tenterhooks. That looks very nice. It's a very clean, clear reticle. Not too many hash marks and things on it there. That's the fourth. Is that? Yes, it is. It's the APR 2D mRad reticle. So it's similar to ones I've used before. Nice to see it staying on theme. This scope is made in Japan. It has Element's lifetime warranty on it. Right then, well, we had a little look at the scope. Let us have a look at the instruction manual and see what it says. Other than that, we get a lens cloth there that's in a folded bag. There's a battery there for the illumination control. That is an Allen key, probably for turret setup, and that is an additional aperture. Let's just have a little look at that, because that will go into the, I'm suspecting, objective lens, because when you reduce the aperture of an optical tool, it tends to extend the depth of focal field. So that may be beneficial for some users. We'll have a look at that in use, but it goes on there. You can see it quite neatly in the end there. So let's have a look now. We get a sticker, common to Element, and then we get a good instruction manual. Let's just have a quick look at that reticle guide first. So you can see the reticle on the photo here. We've got hash marks everywhere, aim over marks, half milliradian, full milliradian marks. It gives you a full description here of all the dimensional layouts, obviously A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. And that's one thing that we can look at later. So on this we've got APR, stands for all-purpose reticle, which does seem to, be reasonably true to form on previous experience. Mil scale, 0.2 milliradian divisions will be the smallest ones. Extensive holdover dots, so plenty of places you can aim over, aim off for the wind, etc. Numbered markings, so you can read those and make sure you're actually dialing or undialing 2 millimeters, not 1 millimeter. Make sure you aren't actually misreading the actual units you're dialing through. That is a very nice image on that actually. I can't wait to get this on a rifle and take it out. Okay, we've put the battery in under the turret cap here for the illuminated reticle, and the reticle is controlled by a hold on that button which turns it on, and then brief presses switch through the 10 illumination intensity settings. And looking at that, which is a little bit tricky in here because I've got a lot of light pouring in on me for the cameras, but that is giving me, it's giving me a nice sharp picture. That it's not sparkling or anything like that. We're not getting a load of light spill or soaking away. So that's very interesting. Right, I'm going to put this on the CZ457 MDT actually. I love putting optics on rimfires these days because I get so much opportunity to experiment with the mechanical range of the actual dialing capability, the accuracy of it, whether it matches my known data, and I don't have to travel miles to do it. In terms of recoil these days, recoil's just not such a big issue because people in PRS and things like that, they're always using muzzle brakes anyway. So actually recoil in terms of the physical impulse coming back towards your face isn't a problem. And I'll be looking at things like the eye relief, the eye box, etc. I suspect, let's have a look at these exact dimensions on here. So we've got 6 to 36 times magnification, 34mm main tube, 56mm objective lens. Exit pupil is 8.8 to 1.6mm, eye relief is 74 to 89mm. Now that's what I was going to say, but I didn't want to trip over it because I'm in this limited space here, but I got the feeling that the eye relief on this is shorter than a lot of the other Element optics. Now, if you look at comparable specification optics, specifically in the 5 to 25 by 56 market, lots of them are European high-end scopes, Steiner, Schmidt and Benders, Carles, things like that. new Zeiss, etc., etc. They've all got shorter eye relief, around about 90mm, and people might say, oh, but it's not Magnum eye relief. Well, actually, Magnum eye relief, although helpful if you're shooting a Magnum rifle, isn't always beneficial, because it can make the actual eye box, which is the amount your eye can move backwards and forwards in the eye relief, a little bit more critical. But it also tends to, it doesn't matter, because you get a better position on the rifle. And of course, on a rifle, the rifles aren't getting any bigger, but the scopes are. And actually, there isn't always enough space to move the scope fully forward enough to get that 100mm of eye relief, and 90 is actually more comfortable. So you will see 90mm listed on a lot of high-end 5-25 mil-radian scopes, and scopes that this is going to fit into a sort of marketplace with. What else have we got on here? Let's stick in meters. Field of view at 100 meters, 6.8 to 1.1 meters. Click value is 10th milliradian, and there's 12 milliradians per revolution. So that's a decent dialing capability in one turn, and you can hear them, you can see them. There's a nice 0 stop there. That's all working very well. And if you're getting older like me and you're losing your short range focal ability, you can still read the numbers on those dials, which is good. Last couple of things to look at. Overall elevation adjustment range is 29 milliradians, which is, it's a decent figure. Some scopes go as high as 40, but when you tend to go for slightly more magnification, the scope's internal erector tube does get a little bit longer, and it's hard to move that through the physical amount you can move a shorter erector tube through. So, you know, it's all about compromise, what works for you, what will you need. This will almost certainly be going on an elevated Picatinny rail anyway, or an inclined Picatinny rail, which obviously shifts your primary 0 point to further out. But it's still important to be able to dial all the way through the range you're likely to be engaging targets. Last couple of things. Windage adjustment range is 11.6 milliradians. Minimum parallax distance I've already touched on. That's 10 meters, and it seemed a bit shorter as well. Overall length is 377 millimeters, and overall weight is 1,035 grams. So if you see a lot of scopes in this market like I do, obviously, yes, this is a 60-36. Most of those are 5-25, so you're getting a little bit more at the top end. All these numbers, although I don't remember them all exactly, but they all have great similarity, especially sort of 1,030, 1,050 grams overall weight for a scope like this. Windage and elevation adjustment, the dimensions of the scope, and the click values, etc., etc. It's all fitting in to a specific sort of zone. Now, one thing I will say about this scope, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but it does jump up significantly because this scope is over £2,000 retail price. So it will be a whole new experience. I'm really looking forward to using it. And I quite like the fact it looks different. It's like, okay, there are loads of scopes out there that are all black anodized. Well, this one is, like I say, it's like a sort of tungsten grey. It's almost a bit like a great white shark in a way, isn't it? Looks a little bit different. So I'm looking forward to using this. Right, well, please like, subscribe, comment, and click the notification bell to keep track of my weekly uploads. Go through to the end of the video, and there is a link at the end of the video for the British Shooting Show 2023. If you buy a ticket this year, your car parking is included. And hopefully, if you pop around to the Sportsman Gun Centre stand at some point, you will see these scopes. But this is quite simply a big step on from Element Optics. So I look forward to using it. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.